just to set the context here, the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, IRDI, aims to achieve an insurance for all by 2047. Of course, this is largely driven by the government's insurance inclusiveness mission. And, so in India's insurance sector has already, we have witnessed a substantial growth driven by the overall economic development, increasing financial awareness. Of course, the large part of it is also played by, how our society is changing over a period of time. Just to give some context here, over a past decade, the insurance industry has expanded significantly, with premiums rising from 3.5 trillion rupees in 2014 to almost more than a double of about 7.5 trillion rupees by end of last fiscal. It's currently valued at about $150 billion. And the industry estimates that this premium trend is going to grow at about 7.5% in real terms over the next 5 years. Accompanying this expansion, there has been notable increase in the industry, in the sectors, in the workforce within this sector, with a heightened demand for skills professionals. And despite challenges such as talent retention, particularly highlighted in recent years, the industry continues to play a crucial role in India's financial landscape, contributing to societal resilience and financial security. Workforce dynamics in this sector will be crucial in reaching the untapped markets, improving operational capabilities, and effectively meeting the diverse customer needs to sustain this growth amid the changing markets conditions. I'm joined by Mr. Saumil Paronigar. He is VP and Head of Sales Training at IndiaFirst Life Insurance. And I have Mr. Ashish Parab, who has over 15 years of work experience in HR domain and is currently with Star Union Dai-ichi. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Krish, for having me here. Thank you.
So I'll start with Saumil, my first question. So Saumil, what are your views on IRDI's vision of Insurance for All 2047? And how do you see this becoming a reality first? And, what are the special measures which we are taking towards this particular mission?
Wonderful. First of all, when the government and IRDI says that insurance for all by 2047, as an insurer, this is always a good news for me, because if you do any pest analysis, the first aspect which comes is a political support. And if the government has a policy, which is an external analysis, if we talk about, which is a pest analysis, okay, economy is growing, social support is there, technological advancements are there, but without, you can say, prudent support by the government, you cannot do anything. Specifically, life insurance, which is highly regulated industry. So when the government and the current, you can say, chairman of IRDI is a really very visionary person who has taken certain measures in past also by involving and asking all the insurers to adopt certain states to increase the insurance penetration. When we talk about insurance for all by 2047, it's really very inspiring vision, and all insurers, I'm sure, would love to capitalize on this opportunity. You mentioned about the size of the industry on 31st of March 2024. 3,37,000 crore of new business premium has been achieved by private insurance company and LIC put together. If we remove LIC, it is still 2.5 lakh crores. Now, there are two factors, okay, which can help us to achieve this vision. First is that the population growth which is happening. When we are talking, we are already 144 crore populated country, which is highly populated in the world. And the average birth rate is increasing by 0.7%, which means by 2047, what would be the size of India population? Would be around 165 crores, which in the numbers. Now, this is going to be supported by technology. This is going to be supported by this very inspiring vision of IRDI. This is going to be supported by the awareness of the consumer. Specifically, COVID really made a huge difference. God forbid it should not happen. But just in case, this is a blessing in disguise, because the awareness of insurance has been drastically increased. People have started talking about how much human life value you should have. And you may have seen some insurers already publishing advertisement around it as well. So consumer is more aware now. They have started talking about term insurance. How much insurance cover should I have? So gone those days. I've been into insurance from the privatization happened. Was a banker and then I moved into insurance. And I have sold insurance myself in the field. And when we talk to the consumer about insurance, they say, no, I'm not going to die. Okay,
Yeah.
my Panditji mentioned that I'm going to have a long life. Practically, I don't need an insurance. Okay, if I die and my family gets a benefit, I don't believe in that. Instead of that, you suggest me some good returns-oriented products. But today, people are really very sensitive. They have started talking about how much insurance cover they should have. Not only about life, even for the health insurance also, the awareness has increased. So if we put all things together, the financial inclusion program, if you see the bank account holder in India, okay, after the government's initiative, Jan Dhan Yojana, plus no direct, you can say, remittance transfer to the beneficiaries. It has really opened up the entire ecosystem. UPI payment has increased, technology advancements are there. So if you connect all the dots, awareness of consumer, population, technology advancements, insurance, number of insurance companies are also coming. The number of insurtechs are also joining the hand in this entire bandwagon. So if you put all the dots together, whether insurance for all will be possible by 2047, it's a larger question. But yes, the overall penetration will increase. Today, we are at 4.2% of insurance penetration to GDP, where the world average is 7.3. So we are far below than the world average. Okay, I'll just put one more number and it will definitely open eyes for the people who are watching this webinar. The total population of US is 35 crores.
Right.
And the total number of insurance companies, they have a state-wise insurance companies. If we put all everyone together, 775 insurance companies are there for a 33 crore populated country. And in India, we have 144 crores, including LIC. We are at just 24 life insurance companies. Wow. If you put insurtechs also together, and fintechs and insurtechs who are joining this entire journey, if you put that also, we are highly underpenetrated. So let's say if I die today, my family will require 100 rupees as a protection cover. My insurance cover today would be just 13 rupees as an average.
Correct.
There's a huge gap of 87% of protection gap, right? And if this happens by 2047, the industry will grow exponentially. So I think this vision, okay, will definitely inspire all insurance companies to take their actions in this direction. And by 2030 would be the first measure where the industry would have by 9 lakh crores, which is 3,37,000 crore in 31st March 2024. By 2030, the estimate is that it will touch 9 lakh crore. It's amazing numbers. So I have all the faith in this. Yes, this vision is going to happen, and all insurers will definitely make most of it.
Great. I think, Saumil, you have, you bouquet the whole thing so well. I mean, it will help actually me drive because you covered a lot of those snippets which I wanted to, ask in my rest of my questions here. So thank you very much. I mean, it's an amazing thoughts and really appreciate that. So moving on, Ashish. So your thoughts, and I think, Saumil covered that. So there are two questions I really wanted to ask. One is this growth in insurance? One thing is, of course, awareness. How do you think that the changes in the society is driving towards insurance? So like my parents never thought of they always knew that, me and my brother will take care of them, right? Probably I don't think it that way, right? Because, the way the society is changing, we are moving from a joint to a nuclear system where everyone is so independent. Is this society one part of it which is driving towards insurance growth? That's question number one. Of course, COVID played a major role where people started seriously thinking about their life. The other day, I was driving back home, and it's a long journey I have to take every day. In radio, I was hearing one ad which came, which says 1 crore ka health insurance. And I'm like, 1 crore of health insurance. I'm like, wow. I mean, where are we heading to? So the second part of my question, the first part is, of course, the society change. The second part of it is also, as insurers, do you feel under insurance is also a cause of concern, and that if per capita insurance goes up, that will also have a direct impact on how our economy is changing.
Great, thank you. So yes, right questions, and I would say that you have partially answered those also. And I would say yes, the society part. You are very right when you said that previously for all the families, their next generation only was the insurance.
Correct.
My children and everyone will take care of me. While culturally the society is only changing, so that view is also changing towards importance of having those funds available and also protection available when needed at the probably whenever probably at the old age or whenever. So yes, the awareness has increased quite a bit. COVID also definitely has brought in significant improvement in the awareness of the society towards how they look at insurance, particularly term insurance. I would say that how it protects the family and the well-being of the future. So definitely that has changed. But again, I would say that there are other habits, because Indians, I would say very particularly in India, because we are a developing nation, most of the population is between the age of 18 to 30 or 35, I would say. Still people feel that wherever I put in money, it should give me back as an investment during my lifetime only.
Correct.
So you would see also the fact that banks and also life insurance companies are probably struggling a bit, because there is a lot going in the equity market and mutual funds on that side. Banks are also struggling to keep up their CASA accounts and balance, etc. Because most of the funds that people are not thinking that they should be keeping funds in something like a saving account, or they should not keep on investing much in the kind of different products of life insurance. But they think that this as a growing economy, because mutual funds are giving in average 12%, 13% return, and equity maybe if you invest right, maybe giving up around 20% odd return. So they think those are the buckets where people are investing. Also, spending habits of the young generation are quite different than what we were. We were into savings earlier, and we were thinking of the future. Now probably more people are thinking of how they live in the present. So that is also culturally affecting how the insurance is. But yes, the regulators have made good awareness steps. The PMJJY program on the Bharat side, I would say, has made a great impact. While they are covered now when they get the benefits, now they also understand that we should be properly covered also. Now PMJJY is a basic minimum, and now people understand that we are underinsured as population, and whatever we get may not be able to fulfill the needs of the family for even say midterm. Forget about long term. For even midterm also it doesn't get covered, because generally nowadays people are into they have brought a home and there is a home loan, or probably there are other liabilities that are there, and that also need to be taken care. And while all these investments in equity may not suffice to take care of those kind of uh, liabilities that you have made for yourself and the family. So yes, people are generally, if you see now that the penetration in the loan segment where they take insurance of credit life segment has improved drastically. You would see that there is generally education loan, I would feel that more or less it is 100% covered, while home loan also I would feel that it is 60% covered in most of the cases.
Absolutely.
While there is need to cover it to 100%, but yeah, means it is over the past 3 years also I've seen that it has come up from 40% to 60% coverage. So we are seeing that people are understanding the importance of being covered, being not underinsured and being properly insured, understanding what their income is and what kind of insurance is required to cover those aspects. So yeah, on that aspect also the awareness is there. but still the generations are fighting to, what is the right thing? Is mutual fund the right, or, probably giving returns, which will give me money and which will protect the family also in the future, or insurance is the right. So having the right mix of both the aspects, somewhere they are trying to find the right path in between.
So, on a lighter note, I was having a similar industry dialogue with our mutual fund clients, and the same conversation kind of caught up that, where if I have 100 rupees today, where does that 100 rupees gets invested? And of course, mutual funds and equity market is something which is kind of, and it has again, COVID also played a huge role when people were sitting at home, nothing much to do. There were a lot of these Robin Hood investors who came in, and suddenly, the market flooded, and, the returns, and we have a hockey stick kind of a recovery. So the returns were so amazing that people are kind of hooked to it, and which has a direct impact on where people want to invest. That proportion of investment which should happen ideally in insurance, in savings products, in equities and debt related products. I think that is something which a common man should always be aware of, because of his long-term goals and aspirations they have. Actually, it's a fair point. So, Saumil and Ashish, what I understand is that industry is bullish. There are requirements here. Where are these people coming from? Where are you getting these people to go and sell this product? And especially, considering insurance largely has been an urban concept, right? Now, if I have to cover my 144 crore population, I have to go to the far-flung part of the cities, right? I mean, to the country, right? So, how are you guys preparing, to cater to these requirements given the geographical disparities we may have across India? So, Saumil, I'll take this question to you in that case.
Sure.
If you don't mind answering. So, where are you getting these people, and how are you prepping yourself because this is huge, as you said yourself, only 4% of our population is kind of covered. So even if I have to achieve a 20%, it's like 3 times from where we are right now, 4 times where we are right now. So how are insurance companies in general are preparing to handle this kind of a load?
Certainly. The TeamLease definitely had to have a very important role to play here.
We
So
have
it's
our vested agenda here, that's why.
and that's how the ecosystem will work. And there is no, nobody should shy away from this, that, okay, if everybody come together, things will happen. So it's a multi-pronged distribution strategy, Krish, if I talk about. If let's say, Ashish luckily works with Star Union Dai-ichi, who is the another bank, Union Bank of India, who is also our promoter. Okay. If let's say, if I talk about IndiaFirst Life, I have 2 major PSUs, which is Bank of Baroda and Union Bank of India. Both put together have more than 30 crore consumers across India.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right? Which means every second consumer, or you can say after every 5th customer, you'll get them in a Bank of Baroda or Union Bank of India. So first of all, have I reached them? Okay, I have a huge network of bank branches. So 8,000 plus branches of Bank of Baroda, almost similar bank branches of Union Bank of India. And we have a bank assurance support. So all my bankers, okay, who are dealing in the financial product day in, day out, what they just need to talk about. Let's say if you're an account with us in a Union Bank of India or a Bank of Baroda, the only thing as a banker I need to ask is that, Krish, I really appreciate you are maintaining a good relationship with us. But if something goes wrong, will your standard of living continue to be maintained? Okay, we as a banker would love to support you there in completing your comprehensive financial planning. Even if we do that, the major part will be taken care. That is point number 1. So bank assurance will be, you can say, one of the focus area to increase the reach and improve the per consumer insurance coverage, deeper penetration. Other than that, we are now also focusing largely on agency distribution. Agency distribution really helps. Specifically, India, if you see, the consumer mindset is more relationship oriented. Okay, I have one insurance guy in my family who will service my family for insurance needs for longer period of time. And people in the needed. So there is a right time, right money, right hand kind of concept. When I need the claim support, I want to reach out to somebody who is in my close vicinity. I may not go to bank. Of course, bank and insurance companies can directly help in settling the claims, but agents also very important role. So agency distribution is second largest, you can say, opportunity for us, where we'll definitely focus. Through TeamLease, I would like to definitely make this message very clear. You can build your career in insurance. Okay? You can join an industry today and you can retire from this industry, because there are hell lot of you can say growth opportunities, career opportunities lying in this industry. You compare all industry and you put insurance as one of them, and you see the CAGR, the compound annual growth rate of this industry, over the last 24 years is enormous. It's really very heartwarming that, okay, this industry is constantly thriving towards the largest growth. The number of people who are joining industry when the IRDA has made this act and privatization have happened, and today you see the quality of people are different. So of course, by direct campus hiring, by getting industry veterans, by cross-functional industries, by multiple distribution channels, we would love to make sure that our reach increases across India. In whatever way we can reach out to the consumer, we guide them about prudent financial planning. Okay, it's something like a pyramid. So the base of the pyramid should be strong, which is whatever you have today, even if we, in a financial term, we call net present value, whatever you have today has more value than in future. So have you protected that first? And insurance is subject which will definitely help you to protect what you have today. So we want to increase our reach to everywhere, of course, through multi-pronged distribution, you can say, channels, and by spreading more and more awareness through variety of initiatives through social media as well.
Right.
Companies like you definitely play an important role, because we will have full-time employees, we will have part-time employees, we will have contractual employees, and in this entire ecosystem, people and the companies like TeamLease definitely will play an important role.
Great. Thanks, Saumil, for your thoughts. So, Ashish, I'll move on to you in continuation to what Saumil just mentioned. So I can understand that, there is a potential, there is a growth potential within the insurance, which will require a lot of trained professional, etc. Now, the flip side of growth, flip side of, high CAGR is high attrition, and especially amongst the bottom rung of the pyramid, as Saumil mentioned. Now, how are you guys preparing to handle that? Because, our data estimates suggest that the attrition is anywhere between 25+% per year, depending on the kind of levels we have. So how are you preparing yourselves for the kind of attrition we are looking at? And is there any special intervention in terms of learning and development, which, your organization or insurance companies in general are kind of planning for to prepare for the future?
Absolutely. Very, very apt question, I would say, because, if you see as a career, no one gets up after, near graduation and says that I want to do a career in insurance, specifically life insurance. And that's the challenge, wherein people don't dream about or don't aspire about selling life insurance or being in life insurance as an industry. They just land into it somehow. So, so that's something that we as an industry, are, wanting to change and wanting to make an impact on, wherein, one important aspect is how do you catch them, young. So we are doing a lot of efforts, like Saumil was also mentioning that, they are also hiring campus hires, and we are also having good amount of campus hires that we are, taking from across the, across the length and breadth of the country. Also, some of the government changes, like, the Apprentice Act. Wherein probably generally people were not, following that. But I would say that now we have, taken that, as a challenge that, how do you, bring in apprentices. We started around, around 90 days back only. Now we have 100 apprentices on board with us. and we plan to have another 300 apprentices this year. So we will have around 400 apprentices working with us in this financial year itself. This apprentices, probably after their completion of their apprenticeship, we plan to give them a full-time career. So they have an experience with us while not having specific targets to work on, but still having a sales experience. And then probably we see that they grow into this. Also, what we are doing from the learning, development, etc. side is, 2 years back, we started a program called as Shiksha, wherein we have made multiple tie-ups with multiple institutes and some of the better tie-ups like Upgrad, then BIMTech, and many other Manipur institute, wherein we have some courses also, and also we have full-time and part-time post-graduation also, which our employees can also avail of. And over a period of time, if that course is, you say, around a year or 2 years, over a period of time they get fully reimbursed for that course. So one is that they are educated. The course is also mutually tailor-made for insurance industry, where they talk about a lot about financial, banking, and insurance to understand the financial management side, and that helps build this thing. Also, we are focusing on a lot on continuous learning as a journey to promote internal talent only for higher level positions.
Yeah.
We are seeing over the last 2-3 years that we should not hire anyone from outside at a mid-senior level within the organization. And how do we provide a career path or a journey that they see in this organization? Otherwise, what we were seeing was that people were joining in the front line and being in the front line for 5 years, 6 years, and then probably thinking that things are not moving ahead while their life cycle has moved ahead.
Yeah.
Now they are married and they have probably children, but they still remain in the frontline sales. And though they are getting some good amount of incentives because they are probably talented people, but that is not what they want. They want that recognition and they want that position also. And so over a period of time, we are seeing that how do we help them through this journey of transformation from being a frontline sales to becoming a manager. And while I say this, we are also seeing that there is a fungibility across different different channels that we have. Not only that, while we are we along with IndiaFirst our premium in the bancassurance side, but there is agency, then there is our other channels which may be direct or which where we cross-sell. Now we are doing a lot of cross-selling through our operations team also. So and we are having a lot of tie-ups with brokers and corporate agents, etc. So how do we have this fungibility of movement within these channels? How people become managers in different bank either or with different channels. So they see that there are opportunities. A lot of opportunities are open. For every opportunity, we first open it as an IGP to everyone so that they can apply. Then they go through an assessment center, and if they clear, they are ready for that position. There are a lot of people who are ready now and ready for future. So even during the mid-year, we have an attrition. We have people who are ready for future. We have done already succession planning, and so they see the growth. And that's the promise we give them, that you will see growth in this industry like probably no other industry can provide you. And that is what making people stay with us. And we have been able to bring down some attrition. Recently, we have tied up with Great Manager Institute also to to give a different kind of coaching and learning for our managers who have been internally promoted because they have not been managers earlier, and that will help them to become better managers and better leaders in the future. So that's how they see that, okay, this is the journey that the organization is offering them as a career, and I can join as an FLS, but probably when I am here for 10 years or so, I will be a regional manager or a circle manager kind of thing. So that's how we look at it.
Great thoughts. In fact, yeah, I mean, one of the things is, people as they grow up, they want to become pilots, they want to become a banker, they want to become a stockbroker, but yeah, nobody will come and say, hey, I want to grow in an insurance industry. And I think, yeah, most of them end up becoming an accidental employee within insurance. So, continuing on that same topic, Saumil, if you can, and this is for our listeners and viewers, so as an average kid growing, I mean, graduating out of an undergraduate college or maybe completing my MBA, etc. What are the exciting opportunities, which are, I mean, maybe traditional, maybe non-traditional for future, something which may entice, a new kid graduating out of the college, anything which, kind of excites
Many,
a
many, many,
millennial.
many.
Mhm.
So, as rightly said by Ashish, I am also an engineer, and I started my career into IT, and then I happened in banking, and from banking I moved into insurance sales, and from 2005 into I'm into L&D. So when I reflect and I talk to my parents, they always make sure that no, you have been studied in engineering and now you moved completely in a different 360-degree shift to a different industry altogether. So if these transitions have happened in last 24 years by chance, my call to the people who are young and who want to make their career, that make it a choice. Let's not be, get into insurance industry through chance, make it a very conscious choice. There are many opportunities. So largely, globally, 70% of any jobs in any industry would be more sales-oriented roles, and it will continue to do so. So sales, of course, gives you a quick growth opportunities, as rightly mentioned by Ashish. There are lots of cross-functional and cross-department opportunities emerges as an IJP. So you can definitely make your career, you can grow, and you can retire from one, you can say, industry. And insurance can be where the population is, your consumer base is very high. And if you put the birth rate every 2 minutes, there is one new life is coming in India as a newborn baby. So that you can say the supply of consumers will never end. So it is never ending kind of industry. It will always grow. So it's a huge opportunity. Second, in terms of learning and development, insurance is a very unconventional subject and complex subject where you really need to learn the tricks and you can say technical knowledge about the product. And if you really help people, you can build relationships which will definitely help you further in your career advancements. So sales is, of course, is one part. Now, if you talk about the operations, the number of branches increasing, the number of ecosystem is enhancing. We will require people to service the consumer requirements. So insurance is a long-term contract. Okay, whatever we do to onboard the consumer, that's not the end state. The actually real relationship starts when the consumer gets the policy issued. From there to another 10, 15 years, you need to maintain the service. And here there are enough and more opportunity to service consumers in multiple facets of operations. Right. Human resources, of course, it's a very, you can say, vast field where you can perform many roles. You can get into HRBP, you can get into content development, you can get into talent development, you can get into hardcore L&D, you can get into compensation and benefits, whatnot. So even HR, there are multiple roles, and you need not do MBA HR. Okay, to be very honest, you can start as a, you can say, fresher, and parallel now, as rightly mentioned by Ashish as well, there are lots and more online universities available. Okay, and you can complete your education as an executive also, and you can build in insurance specific. There are many courses given by III, which will help you to become an insurance expert, or NIA. Okay, so you, or LOMA, okay, or FPSB, which is CFP. There are many courses available. You can build your competencies in that. So we covered sales, we covered operations, we covered HR. If you're very good in, let's say, creativity, insurance specifically, we do lots of reward and recognition programs for our distributors, for our partners, for our employees. If you're very good in that, okay, marketing is one field, content development is one field, planning is one field, you can get into that as well. So if you put insurance as a company, all the departments, you can choose as per your interest area that where I would like to build my career into. And believe me, you can retire from this industry. You need not to keep on switching from here and there. So sales, of course, will play a major role. 70% of the jobs would be in sales, and remaining 30% in all other support functions where you can build your career. So please make it a conscious choice. Industry is really looking forward for talent who wants to build their career and make money. I have grown in this industry over the last 24 years. Okay, from ranks and different positions. I've handled many national level roles in last 12 years. And when I see the new talent coming in, I see that yes, there is a hope. The new ideas, the new energy, the new passion which is coming to us as a new blood, as a new, you can say, talent, young talent. We have lots of hopes that how we can achieve the first question what you mentioned, insurance for all by 2047. So it's an amazing industry and you can make careers. The last word, which will you feel as a feel of gratitude. So the first death claim when I settled in my life, and believe me, that was a turning point for me. Till that date, I was in insurance. After that, insurance in me, that is the complete shift happened. When I see the family getting benefited from the death claim amount, and they see some light of hope that, okay, here onwards, we are going to survive with this money. And the blessings what you get, there are variety of purpose people work for. Okay, either a purpose of survival or purpose of contribution, of purpose of competition. Believe me, all your purposes will be solved if you join insurance industry.
Absolutely.
So that is how I would like to summarize.
I mean, it's an amazing thought, Saumil, and I think as an HR services organization, we would love to, be that platform where that messaging goes, where an individual can really find a career out of insurance, and can retire, can work their entire lives through it. So I think that's an amazing thought. I think with that we come to a conclusion. I think we had a great dialogue. It's a shame we couldn't have Ved as well and share his thoughts with the larger group. But thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for joining this session. And before we end, any closing thoughts, Ashish, Saumil, happy to hear around the industry in general and the future of it. I know, Saumil, your closing statement was amazing, but anything else you want to add on, and then we can probably wrap it up.
Only one thing. What we are hearing from the market is that the complaints about consumers, about insurance. So that is one area I think where all insurance need to really put their might to. The right awareness about the product, the all conditions. Insurance, as I mentioned, is a complex product. We need to do consultative selling. And when I say it is not just for this webinar or just it's a lip service, we really need to mean it. Okay, gone those days where people are investing into training and development. We really need to come back to that level. Mathematics, some mutual fund, something else, but you don't know insurance. Insurance is really a complex product and complex subject. And the seller as well as the person who's going to service the consumer need to be well trained on that. So that is one area I think industry really need to focus on. Second is the technology integration in onboarding the consumer and servicing the consumer would be always, I think, a top priority for companies. Let it be a capex investment, but you need to spend your money in technology advancements. Checking consumers on a regular basis, not just for your NPS score matrices, but in a real sense, are you making any difference in their life by providing insurance solutions? And constantly evaluating your product suite, making it more relevant for the future, thinking from the future, integrating AI in your day-to-day life. AI is not going to take anyone's job. Okay, like when the first thing we were doing mathematics on our fingertips and we got the calculator, nothing has happened. Computer came, nothing has happened. AI will also come and nothing will happen. It will not change your job or it will not take your job. You just need to embrace the technology. So how we can make it more real-time, more persona-based, more customized, you can say, services to the consumer. These are 2-3 aspects, Krish. If we focus as an industry, believe me, the entire image of industry will more improve and the complaints will go down and people would love to associate as a seller, as a employee, as a partner of insurance, and consumers would trust us to buy more and more insurance from us. So that is all from my side. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thanks, Saumil. Ashish, any closing thoughts?
Yeah, I feel that the whole financial industry, is undergoing a disruption and continued disruption. There are many players, digital players who have come, now probably I have stopped. I was yesterday only telling my wife that I've stopped using debit card since a year. Probably I've not, anywhere used it because you use your online payment system so much. And similar kind of disruptions are going to happen in the other industries, including the insurance industry also, like what happened with the banking front. And one should be ready for it. And I feel that insurance is a very agile industry. But as Saumil was rightly saying, that it is one, because it is a push product, these selling skills are very important over here. And one is a financial manager for an individual or a customer, and not just an insurance seller. He would suggest you that what kind of weightage should you put on your investment for insurance, for mutual funds, etc. And that knowledge is very necessary in this product. And so that's why selling as an ability comes to the core in this industry, or in this sector, in the financial industry, rather than any other probably not in banking, not in loan, etc. I mean, not in mutual fund also nowadays, but it is, and health insurance also is generally taking pace on its own. But life insurance is something very different. People feel that once you make one consumer, you sell a product to him, you don't have to sell anything to that consumer for a lifetime. But that's not so. You have to, one, because of the life cycle changes and the continuous changes that are happening, one should buy, on an average, one product at least once in 3 to 5 years in insurance, and upgrade themselves accordingly. So there is a lot of need to upsell also to people, and to make, and as you were saying about the penetration in the market, in the banking, both where we are sitting with UBI, probably put together, have not captured even 2% of UBI consumers. So there is a lot of scope across the industry. Industry is having less penetration, below 4%. So the scope is huge. And how can anyone come, right from any industry, right from IT industry to from a manufacturing industry to this industry, and disrupt this industry. There is a lot of challenge and scope in this industry. So one should look at a career over here, and definitely it is not going to end. It is an ever-growing industry and evergreen industry, I would say. So thank you for having us.
Thanks, Ashish.
It was a great interaction.
Thank you, Ashish. Thank you, Saumil. I think, we are preparing ourselves towards the Atmanirbhar Bharat, and I guess, every industry, including yours, will be that growth engine that will push us there. So thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for joining this session, and have a great day ahead.
Thank you so much.